Hi guys, thanks for tuning into my YouTube channel. And for those of you who are here for the first time, my name is Catherine and I tell true stories. Today my story is about Joan, or let's not give her the real name. And it's about the miracle of the Rosary in the Gulf. You know, the Gulf is one of the places where you will not expect to find people saying the Rosary or something of the sort. But anyway, we have Christians. But this happened in Qatar, in Doha Airport, Doha Hamad International Airport. So that those of you who don't like the Rosary or hate the Mary Mother of God, just know that she can do wonders if only you trust her. She's not your mother-in-law. She's the mother of Jesus. So this is what happened. Joan was traveling to Chicago from Thailand. She was a student, but she was traveling from Chicago. No, she was traveling from Thailand to Chicago, her home. And she'd been informed at the airport that she can have layovers. I mean, she can have a layover because there's so many flights going to Chicago. As in, when you book a flight of an airline, you can as well use another airline at a different time if you wish, as long as there is an availability. So she had been told not to panic because there is a lot of availabilities on the Qatar Airways flight. Well, unfortunately, when she stopped over for a layover, that was not the case. She was told that all the flight, no, she was actually stopped, not allowed to take another flight because of the wait. She was told because of the wait. But all along she'd been promised that there is a lot of space. I mean, there are a lot of flights flying to Chicago and she can stop over at any time and leave at any day that she wants. She couldn't help. She couldn't get help all this time that she was trying to. They could not assist her because of the weight of her luggage. Yes, there were spaces, but they could not take another luggage extra. So she couldn't go. She had to book another flight, imagine, if she was to. So she was so annoyed and frustrated. She just didn't know what to do. She was crying all over the airport, just anger. You've been promised something and you're so confident that you can do whatever you want at your layover and take your time because you know that actually there's going to be space in the next flight to Chicago. But unfortunately, that was not the case. She had to book another flight. That is what she was told by the staff. And as she was crying, she decided to say the Rosary just to calm herself. The purpose of the Rosary was to calm herself. She was indeed so sad. And after walking around saying her Rosary just to calm herself, she decided to sit at a coffee shop at the airport and try to look for alternative flights. So she was going to spend extra money again. Well, little did she know that just across the next table was the CEO of Qatar Airways. And he noticed the distraught on her face. Well, she had stopped crying, but her face showed that she had gone through a lot. So he walked over to her and asked her, "How is your day?" Well, he seemed to be genuinely asking how her day was, and he was so friendly, so she began telling him what happened. She didn't know who he is actually. She didn't know that she was talking to the CEO of the international airline, of the airport. And to her surprise, the stranger she was talking to told her, "I am offering you a business class, so go over to the lounge." He did not just tell her, he escorted her to the business class lounge where she was allowed to take a bath and change her clothes. I mean, she couldn't believe all this was happening in just a few minutes after she had cried and after she sat down on the coffee table and started browsing, just looking for an alternative. And across the table comes a man who asks her what the problem is. She explains, talks to him about her day, not expecting anything, but just to let out her anger, at least to someone who's listening. She didn't know that he was going to help her. And that's how she ended up in a business class of Qatar Airways, in a business class lounge for her waiting. She just could not believe it. She was so excited. Out of all that misery, suddenly everything turned out to be so nice, and now she was not going to squeeze herself in an economy class. Okay, it's not squeezing, but she was going to travel through a better class than she had expected. You can imagine. Was it the rosary? Could this have happened if she did not say the rosary just to calm herself down? Put in the comments if you think otherwise. Well, she arrived in Chicago the next day, but there was no connecting flight to her state, so she had to wait again, but not this time without knowing that she has a connecting flight, because indeed there was a connecting flight for her. And that is the story of Joan and the Rosary in the Gulf. So if you like my content, like, share, and subscribe. Ciao!